Welcome to today's interaction with Gurudev. Our guest today is one of India's leading industrialists and philanthropists, chairman of the Piramal Group, Mr. Ajay Piramal. The Piramal Group is a global business conglomerate with diverse interests in pharmaceuticals, financial services, and real estate, among others. A firm believer in the tenets of the Bhagavad Gita, Mr. Piramal is regarded as a torchbearer for responsible entrepreneurship and responsible business ethos. Mr. Piramal actively steers the group's involvement in various social impact initiatives through the Piramal Foundation. The foundation currently works across 25 states and has impacted over 100 million lives. Mr. Piramal holds key positions on the boards of several companies and prestigious institutions like Harvard Business School's Board of Dean's Advisors. He has been conferred with several national and international recognitions, including the CNBC Business Leader of the Year in 2017 and 18, and the Forbes Outstanding Philanthropist Award in 2013 and 2014. Welcome, Mr. Piramal, to this interaction with Gurudev. We are very pleased to have you here.
Gurudev, please accept my Dandvat Pranams.
Hi Ajay ji, how are you?
I'm very well, Gurudev. We can begin our questions,
Yeah.
Gurudev.
Yes,
There are
yes.
lots of answers that we are all waiting to understand from you. My first question to you, Gurudev, is that you're always smiling. So, what is the secret of being happy?
Just being in yourself. The secret of happiness is knowing that in this world we have come is just a transit launch. So whatever happens in the transit launch, you don't carry it with you. So broader vision about our own life. Now we are all folks from another place. We have just come here for a short period of time, 60, 70, 80, 90 years, whatever time. So we do our bit and we go back.
Gurudev, your meditation is something which the whole world knows about. But the question I have is that often I struggle in meditation because the mind doesn't remain still. It runs away from one thought to the other. How do you make your mind still?
Today we will do, after this question and session, I'm going to take everyone through a short meditation. You will see, mind is not a monkey, it is a king. You have to give the right seat for the mind. So how do you do that? That is why it's called skill. The skill of bringing mind to stillness. And it is possible, it's very much possible. See, the more we try to chase the thoughts, the more they come. It's like fighting with a shadow. If you are looking at the shadow and trying to fight and get rid of it, it's not going to go away. You have to turn towards the light, then the shadow is not there at all.
In the art of living, you focus a lot on seva. How does one develop this seva bhav? And what is the right seva to do?
The word seva in Sanskrit means sa eva, like him. The way the God does everything to you and doesn't expect anything back from you. He doesn't even expect a thank you from you, right? So God is giving you water, fruits, vegetable, everything. So doing like him is seva. Doing something out of joy, not expecting joy and not expecting anything in return. So, and when you do something out of love for people who are very close to you, you don't call it seva. But when you do it to somebody else, you call it charity and seva. But if you do anything that you want to do, like you do it for your own family, you don't even ascertain the seva, that is the true seva. Yeah.
And Gurudev, what is the best way of doing this seva? Is there anything you would say priority? If you do this, this is better than any other seva?
No, Ajay, seva is basically our attitude that we have a sense of belongingness with everybody. And whatever is needed, wherever is needed, you do it there. Here, I would say uh, helping someone for a long term. In English, usually you say that it's better to teach someone how to fish rather than dishing out them fishes. So if you teach them how to grow, that is a bigger seva than giving them one meal. But if it is a time that is in emergency, we need to give them food, we need to do that also.
So, Gurudev, in these stressful times, I know of many businesses where people have to be forced to let go of their employees as well, or if they're not, they are thinking about it. And many of them who have this seva bhav, who are compassionate, feel bad. There's a guilt that what will they do? But if they have to survive, they may have to ask people to leave. So, how do we manage such a situation?
No, here, this is your dharma. If you have to save your company and by letting go of 10 people, you are able to save 40 others' job, you must do that. This here, your heart, you shouldn't put your heart into trouble. This you should do with your head. Yes. Now, in a COVID type of very peculiar situations, you can give them a little more than otherwise the whatever package you would give. So that is good enough a compassion that you say, okay, when I let go of somebody, we give them certain packages. Now in this period, okay, I'll give you some little bit more so that they can find a job, survive, do something. So sometimes this would be very essential on a practical ground. Huh? That's what Lord Krishna says. You have to do things with skill. Huh? Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Skill in action is yoga. This is skill in action where you act through you do your business through your head and you do your charity through your heart. If you do the reverse, we'll be in trouble. If we do business from our heart, we won't be able to manage it. And we do charity through our head, what I would get through charity, it's not going to work. So we had to keep things where they belong to. What do you say?
Yeah, thank you. No, it's a big clarification. Many of us are going through that dilemma. Lord Krishna also says that that devotee who is fearless is dear to me. How does one create this fearlessness in one's mind and heart?
That is through the faith that somebody is with me, the divine is with me, and what do I have to fear about? Fear is about losing something. Fear is always about losing that you love, you respect, whether object or people or things around you. That when you know all that has come to you from one source of light, एक ही स्रोत से सब कुछ मिला है, वो भाव हमारे में जग जाए और मजबूत हो जाए, then we know everything we got through God's grace and I belong to God, not just the things. Then I feel the fear will simply go out through the window. It can't stay with you.
So, Gurudev, we hear all this. How do we actually put it into our lives and how do we practice this and how do we inculcate this faith?
No, Ajay, we don't need to practice this. We simply have to keep reminding ourselves. Arjun also, the end of Bhagavad Gita, what says, oh, smritir labdha, अरे मुझे याद आ गया. तो हमें बार बार याद दिलाना पड़ता, अरे भाई तुम अकेले नहीं हो. You belong somewhere else, somebody is with you. that unseen power force is always around you, as inside of you. ये अनुभव जिनको अनुभव हुआ वो बार बार हमें याद दिलाते रहेंगे तो सबको याद हो जाता है. धीरे धीरे चल के slowly and we start remembering that yes, or take a look at our own life. In the past also we have been anxious in many occasions. But all those moments has proved to be an unnecessary worry, which had no base. So either looking back at our own experience, we wake up. So at the current moment, whatever we are concerned, that concern simply dissolves, number one. Second is invoking the valor inside of us. ऐसी कोई occasion आता, I will be able to manage. I can manage. That valor. Third thing is Vishwas. That is your faith. You have not done everything yourself. There is a power which has helped you every moment and in every critical situation, which lifted you up, which loves you a lot. Remembering that divinity that is there and that loves you so dearly, you will feel such a spirit of elevation where no power on earth can take away the smile from you. That is the third thing. A fourth thing is, suppose we are not the type of people who believe, who have the faith in God or anything, never mind. But one thing stares at you, that is end of the scene. One day this whole show will end. The curtain is going to fall. Remember that curtain is going to fall, and it can fall any day at any time, at 70 year or 80 year, 90 year. With a healthy or unhealthy person, the curtain has to fall. So just this fact, an atheist, when he remembers the truth, that curtain is going to fall one day, he will stop worrying. So I would say these four, for atheists and theists, those who are believers, finally they all come to the same place of accepting truth. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. ये तीन चीजें हैं, the three things that nobody can escape. Truth is something which you cannot escape. One day it is going, you have to face the truth. Second is beauty that you cannot reject. And the beauty is, the definition of beauty is natyajyam, that cannot be thrown away. That is beauty. If you say something is, if you say the painting behind you is beautiful, you cannot throw it. If you throw it, you don't see the beauty in it, right? Same way, if you see beauty in the whole creation, the mountains, trees, so we respect the beauty which cannot be thrown away, renounced. And Shivam, auspicious, goodness. No atheist can ever say benevolence is bad. So, if you don't believe in anything, at least he believes in being good and doing good. So, सत्यम शिवम सुंदरम किसी को छोड़ ही नहीं सकता. कोई नास्तिक हो आस्तिक हो, उसके जहन में बस जाता है. उसके प्रति थोड़ा सा भी अवेयरनेस आ जाए, if we just become little bit more aware of that, life moves or takes up another dimension, जहाँ पर where you have cooperation over conflict, you have commitment over lack of responsibility, and you feel satisfied rather than all the time being greedy or being grumpy about things around you.
In today's environment, Gurudev, there's a lot of unknowns. One doesn't know how long this whole thing will last, what will happen. So how does one deal with a situation? How does one keep balance and equanimous in such a situation?
Uncertainty तो है. अभी you don't know when. Perhaps this uncertainty was always there in life, but this COVID-19 has forced everybody to face it. बस इतना ही हुआ है। नहीं तो भी जो व्यक्ति के जीवन में इन ए पर्सन्स लाइफ देयर इज अनसर्टेनिटी, बट नाउ दिस कोविड हैज made someone to face that. At this point, I would say, look within, do meditation, take some time for yourself. You know, you will find that there is a force, there is a power which will definitely helping you, which is helping you, and that faith will come up within you.
If I can ask a personal question, when did you realize this faith and this power within yourself, Gurudev? Were you born with it? And
yeah, you are right. जब बच्चे थे तब से ऐसा था मेरे को. I didn't have to go through any topsy-turvy ups and downs and those things. मैं आया ऐसे हूँ शुरू से.
But all of us are not in that. So what would you say is the qualification to be a true devotee?
You don't need any qualification to be a devotee. Everyone who is born in this planet are devotee only. Whether they know it or not, either they know it or they don't know it. So when you know it, you cherish it. When you don't know it, then you keep seeking for it. So I would say when you get rid of stress and ignorance, small-mindedness, your mind is open to the reality, you feel that sense of belongingness comes within you. It is all natural to you. So devotion is not something, though shrama sadhya nahi hai. It's not something you get through effort. You know, love or devotion or peace can never be attained through effort. It is effortless. Same with meditation. Meditation cannot be, achieved through lot of effort. Effort की ज़रूरत नहीं. All good qualities are present in us. That's what भगवान श्री कृष्ण गीता में जो बोलते हैं ना, he says, अर्जुन तुम्हारे अंदर सारी दैवी संपत्ति पहले से है. You have all the divine qualities already embedded in you. You don't have to do anything. You simply have to know these are asuri qualities. When you know the asuri qualities, like in an atom, the proton and neutron, the positive are already in the center. The negative charged particle is only in the circumference. So all the stress, negativity is only outside of you. When you go inside, you find you have all the virtues, you have all the qualities, you have all the devotion. You don't need to do anything. थोड़ी थोड़ी देर बैठ के खाली हो जाना है. बाकी सब चीज़ों, other things, see life as a dream. Ajay, this is one very simple thing. Very simple. Everyone can practice this. I mean, just know this. Practice this too. What? Just now, wake up and see all that happened till this moment. Is it not like a dream? You went to school, you went to college, and then your marriage and your childbirth, and then they got to school, they got married. Just look back and see, is it not like a dream? Isn't it? All that event that happened till this moment. Even this morning we all woke up, we had breakfast, we took whatever we did. If we wake up and see, it's all like a dream. Now I'm talking to you, you're talking to me. Could this be a dream? Did we ever doubt? We can doubt this. Could this be a dream? It could be. And it's like a dream, right? अभी 1 घंटे बाद आप अपने काम में लग जाओगे, मैं अपने काम में लग जाऊँ, then another few years will pass like this. 10-20 साल चला जाएगा. That could be dream also, isn't it? When we can
Yeah.
see our whole life as a movie, as a dream, a different level of awareness wakes up within us. Then we get connected to many other dimensions of the universe. जैसे as soon as we wake up, we become aware of everything that is in the room, everything, all the activity we do. But when we are in dreaming or sleeping state, though you are in the same room, you know nothing about it. In the same way, when we see our whole life as a dream and we wake up from this dream, a new level of wisdom, knowledge dawns within us that gives us enormous strength, enormous foresight, intuitive ability and sankalpa shakti. जो हम चाहे सो हम कर सकते हैं, ऐसे संकल्प भी उठता है उसमें.
So Gurudev, everybody, many people are pursuing or seeking to find the right guru. How would you say in this, who would be the right guru for a person? What is a generalization that, okay, if this is the person, then, because there are so many people today in the world, and you know that, who keep parading themselves as gurus, and we've seen what has happened in the last few years. It's come all over the news. So how does one find the right guru, or what would be, you say, would be the qualities of the right guru, if I might ask?
Well, there is no criteria as such. Enlightenment is the area beyond criteria. But कुछ तो दिल में कुछ बात होती, something your heart tells you, this is the right thing, this is the right one. So वो अपना दिल को सुनना चाहिए, because any criteria you put, that is you are judging from your own mind. So your logic or your judgment depends on your knowledge. And your knowledge is limited. If it is unlimited, you don't need a guru. Since your knowledge is limited, so any logic you come through your will always be limited to your knowledge. जैसे जैनियों के लिए गुरु माने जो जैसे दिगंबर है, दिगंबर जैनियों के लिए गुरु माने जो है जो दिगंबर रहते हैं, कपड़े नहीं पहनते. और श्वेतांबर के लिए गुरु वो है जो एक ही टाइम खाना खाते हैं, 2 टाइम भोजन करेंगे तो उनके लिए वो गुरु नहीं होते. सो इस तरह की क्राइटेरिया अलग अलग होता है लोगों को. या कोई कहते हैं कि जटा हो तभी गुरु है, माला रुद्राक्ष माला पहने तो, इस सब क्राइटेरिया से एक तरफ रख देना चाहिए, बिकॉज ऑल दिस क्राइटेरियाज आर मेड बाय योर ओन माइंड. वॉट यू सी इज योर हियर योर हार्ट, वाइब्रेशंस होते हैं, योर हार्ट सेज दिस इज द राइट प्लेस, दिस इज द राइट थिंग, लिसन टू दैट हार्ट. अच्छा, देर आर फेक पीपल, सन्यासीज इन द प्लैनेट. ये पुराना परंपरा, ये रामायण काल से चला आ रहा. सीता को भी एक सन्यासी रूप में रावण आया तभी ठग पाया. If Ravan had come as Ravan, he would not have gotten Sita. Sita was kidnapped, only he came in the form of a sannyasi. So Vijayanagar kingdom was finished because the 4 people came in the sannyasi vesh. You know the story. You know, Vijayanagar Samrajya, the entire empire came down in half an hour time, because 4-5 people from Bahmani Sultan came as sannyasis and asked Raja to come alone. When he came, they severed his head and put it on the pillar, and the entire kingdom became down. So we should not be paranoid by this small group of people who bring bad name to spirituality. See, you find in every field, whether in finance, there are people who sold plastic as diamonds and they have gone away from India now, you see. And there are doctors who have stolen kidneys. So There are certain elements in society which do this, but I would say listen to your own heart and move from there. Or just see what the knowledge you want to take. Once you get benefited from the knowledge, then you can thank your guru. That is another thing you can do. वैसे कहते हैं एक गुरु के 5 लक्षण होते हैं फायर। एक तो उनमें ज्ञान वृद्धि, जो गुरु के पास बैठते कुछ नॉलेज हमको समझ में आ, ओपन अप होता, माइंड ओपन अप। और समृद्धि, किसी चीज की कमी नहीं लगती है, गुरु के पास रहने से हमें कमी नहीं महसूस होगा। फिर राग द्वेष निकल जाता है मन से, मन खाली होने लगता है और प्रसन्नता उदय होता है भीतर, टैलेंट्स बढ़ते हैं। यू फाइंड your hidden talents come up. You will see here people who have very little talent, they suddenly come up with great talents. They'll sing, they write song, they make stories. तो इस तरह से टैलेंट्स बढ़ जाते हैं और एक तरह का सुकून मन में बना रहता है।
Gurudev, how do you manage to keep, how does one manage to keep a balance between family, between devotion, time for the practices that meditation or any other devotional practice, and family and guru? How does one keep that balance?
Just like riding the bicycle. Our motorbike, you have to keep the balance, no? So, whenever you are out of balance, something pinches you inside. I should be doing this duty. Your consciousness will tell you. Suppose you are giving too much time to your work, not giving to the family, something pinches. Similarly, if you are enjoying holidays too much, something, oh, no, I had to clear the file, I had to do this. So, your consciousness always does it. We simply have to listen to our consciousness. And meditation, you don't have to give lot of time. Every day, 15-20 minutes, morning, evening, before meal, you can meditate. And once a year, 4-5 days you take and go on a retreat, go a little deeper, and that keeps you charged. And that also takes you to another platform.
So, as a daily practice, what would you tell a person to lead a good life? I mean, what would you say is a minimum practice somebody should do?
I would say like dental hygiene. Everybody brushes their teeth. You should have mental hygiene. The mental hygiene is 10 minutes, 15 minutes, do breathing exercises and meditation. So 10-15 minutes yoga, 5-10 minutes pranayama, and then 20 minutes meditation. The whole program you can do it in 40 minutes, 45 minutes. And a little bit chanting I would recommend, especially in India. It's good to chant 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Mantras, because mantra chanting also can create a lot of positive vibes, and that vibration surrounds you. कवच बन जाता है मंत्र chanting करने से. तो मैं कहूँगा 40 minutes, 45 minutes, that should be good. Suppose you don't have time that much, 20 minutes meditation, this much everybody can do. So you say, suppose some days you can't do even that, never mind. Just step back and see the whole thing as a dream. Whole life as a dream. इसके लिए कुछ ज़्यादा करना नहीं पड़ता है. मिनटों में हो जाता है.
Or any particular mantra you think one should chant?
No, it's of their choice. They can do. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Narayana. जो भी chanting, Gayatri mantra chanting, if they know. That's good, whatever mantras.
Gurudev, other than your giving discourses and your spiritual practice, what else do you do? Is there any other thing that you have, any hobby or any likes that you do, that you have?
I think everything in my whole life is a hobby. Talking to people, every day I talk to people and then I connect with people all over the world. ये सब करते रहते हैं. Hobbies also I यहाँ पर हाथी है तो उसको खाना खिलाते कभी जाके घोड़ा हाथी गौशाला. I spend some time with the nature of course. 10-15 मिनट उस नेचर के साथ बिताते हैं. Take care of birds and fishes, everything. Otherwise, तो every human being is a novel, is a story by himself, by herself, and listening to their, their interesting stories and giving my ideas and suggestion to them, time goes.
Thank you. I purposely asked a little bit of your personal. We just want to understand because you're such a, icon for all of us. So we want to
Music
understand
में भी
how.
मैं time बिताता हूँ. Every evening I spend half an hour in music, either in sitting in satsang, listening to it. Sometimes I talk on different scriptures. कभी किसी पर बोलता हूँ भी. तो अभी ध्यान करें. Shall we meditate now? Huh?
We're being joined by 2 million people across various platforms from over 144 countries for this session today.
So we will have it in English only.
गुरुदेव जी, आज हमारे साथ पूरी दुनिया से करीबन 2 मिलियन लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं 144 कंट्रीज से.
ना अभी सिर्फ इंग्लिश में करेंगे आज शाम को. दोनों से
जी.
हिंदी भी होगी. ओके. Let's sit comfortably, easily. First, let us shake our hands. थोड़ा हाथ को झाड़ दीजिए अच्छे से. आराम से बैठ के हाथ झाड़ दें. और अपने हाथों को ढीला छोड़ दें. आंखें बंद कर लेते हैं. Let's close our eyes. Keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Your eyes are closed, but your mind is still in front of your face. Just recognize this fact. Though your eyes are closed, the mind is in the front. Let us become aware of 1 foot of space in front of us. Let's keep our attention in this area. आंखें बंद है फिर भी मन बहिर्मुख है. शरीर के सामने 1 फुट दूरी तक की जगह पर अपना ध्यान रखें, अपना मन को रखें. Become aware of your breath, your body, your mind and breath. We have 3 dimensions. Let us attend to all of them simultaneously. Become aware of your body. Remember the weight of your body, हमारा 3 आयाम है, सांस है, मन है और शरीर है। शरीर के प्रति सजग हो जाएं। अपना वजन को याद कर लीजिए। जो भी आपका वजन है, 60 किलो, 70 किलो, 90 किलो, whatever is the weight of your body, just recollect them. Recollect that 60, 70, 80 kilos. Let's take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, place the weight of the body on the chair or on the floor you are sitting. आपकी कुर्सी या ज़मीन आपके वज़न को ढो रही है इस वक्त। इसके प्रति सजग हो जाएं। अपना वज़न को कुर्सी पर रख दें। आपका अपना शरीर ईश्वर से मिला हुआ एक अद्भुत देन है। Your body is a precious gift to you from nature, from God. Honor your own body. हमारा शरीर ईश्वर से मिला हुआ अद्भुत देन है। अपने ही शरीर को मन ही मन हम सम्मान करते हैं। अरबों खरबों अणु परमाणुओं से बना है हमारा अपना शरीर। Our body is made up of billions and trillions of cells. Honor your own body. Take your attention to your legs, your knees and thighs. पैरों पर ध्यान ले जाएं और शरीर के मध्य भाग पर ध्यान लेके आए। Become aware of the thorax region, your arms and shoulders, your neck and face. शरीर के मध्य भाग और शरीर के उत्तमांग, गर्दन और सिर। यह पूरा शरीर एक अद्भुत देन है और ये ईश्वर का ही है। This body belongs to the divine, belongs to this universe. Honor your own body. Let us now come to the second dimension, the breath. It is the breath that is keeping us alive. ये सांस ही हमें जीवित रख रही है। तो सांस पर अभी ध्यान लेके आते हैं। Take a deep breath in and breathe out and relax. Incoming breath energizes the body and outgoing breath brings relaxation. This phenomenon is happening all the time. सांस अंदर जाते वक्त शरीर को बल प्रदान करती है, तो निकलता हुआ सांस शरीर को विश्राम दिला देती है। Incoming breath is energizing and outgoing breath brings relaxation. Every cell of our body is alive because of the breath. So our life is really in the breath. Become aware of the air all around you and inside of you. Imagine you are like a fish in the water, like you are in air. जैसे जल में मछली रहती है, वैसे हवा में हम। हवा का समुंदर हमारे भीतर बाहर चारों ओर है, और हमारा जान, हमारा प्राण उसी में है। Become aware of water, like the water for the fish, air all around you and inside of you. Let's take a deep breath in and hold the breath. And let go. And notice how air is getting depleted naturally. Once again, let's breathe in with a big smile, hold the breath, and when you no longer can hold, just relax and the breath will come out. Notice the state of mind at this moment. सांस लीजिए और रोकिए और रोकना छोड़ें, अपने आप सांस निकल रही है चारों ओर, निकलने दें। मन की स्थिति पर ध्यान दें। Now we pay attention to our mind, the third dimension. Whatever thoughts are coming in the mind, just let them come. A body is like the wick of a candle. The mind is like a glow all around it. शरीर बाती है तो मन ज्योति है। जो भी विचार मन में आ रहे हो इस वक्त आने दे। Any thoughts, whatever thoughts are coming in the mind, good, bad, let them all come. Thoughts are like the hovering clouds. They come and they go. And you are the blue sky, untouched, unblemished. आप आकाशवत हो। हमारी आत्मा आकाशवत है, आकाश जैसा है। विचार आते हैं जाते हैं, ना किसी विचार को रोकना है ना ही टोकना है। गले लगाते जाए हर विचार को। Just embrace all the thoughts. We do not resist or reject anything at this moment. Let's take another deep breath in and breathe out and relax even more. फिर एक गहरी सांस लीजिए। मुस्कुराते मुस्कुराते सांस लीजिए और सांस छोड़ें। Become aware of 1 meter of space in front of you. मन को 3 फुट दूरी तक की जगह पर रखें अपने सामने। फिर एक गहरी सांस लें और छोड़ें। टेक ए डीप ब्रेथ इन एंड लेट गो। Now let's take our attention to our right side. Become aware of your right ear, right shoulder, and take your attention up to 3 feet, 1 meter of space to your right side as well. All your attention is on your right side. दाहिनी तरफ अपना ध्यान रखें। दाहिने कान के बाजू में 3 फुट दूरी तक की जगह पर अपना मन को रखें या उस जगह का स्मरण करें। Now let's take our attention behind our head. सिर के पीछे की तरफ अपना ध्यान ले जाएं। Become aware of the back of your head and project your mind, take your mind up to 3 feet there also. सिर के पीछे भी 1 मीटर या 3 फुट दूरी तक की जगह पर अपना ध्यान रखें। एक गहरी सांस लीजिए और छोड़ें। देखिए अब सांस की गति बदल रही है। मन शांत हुआ जा रहा है। Notice your mind is becoming quieter. The body is getting more relaxed. Now let's take our attention to our left side. Left ear and left side, both 1 meter of space to the left side. अब बाएं तरफ अपना ध्यान रखते हैं. लयबद्ध सांस चलने लगा है. शरीर स्थिर है इस वक्त. सांस धीमी हुई है और मन शांत हुआ जा रहा है. This moment, our body is still, our breath has become subtler, and mind is becoming quieter. There's more serenity and suppleness in our consciousness right this moment. Let's take our attention to the top of the head. सिर के चोटी पर अपना ध्यान ले जाएं. And become aware of the space and to the roof of the room you are sitting in. सिर के ऊपर छत तक की दूरी को स्मरण करें. मन को वहां फैलने दीजिए. Become aware of the space above your head, up to the ceiling of the room or hall you are sitting in. Mind is subtler than air and it spreads all over. Let it go of all your efforts. अभी सभी प्रयत्न छोड़ दे. मन हवा से भी तरल है, पानी से भी तरल है. वो फैलने लगेगा, फैलने दीजिए. पूरे कमरे में आप जैसे आपका मन, आपका ध्यान पूरा भर गया हो. अब सब प्रयत्न छोड़ दें और विश्राम करें. मुस्कान के साथ विश्राम ही ध्यान है. मुस्कुराते मुस्कुराते विश्राम करें. Repose in yourself with a smile. Meditation is reposing in oneself. Any discomfort anywhere in the body or mind, just let it be. Let it remain. It could be there. Let it be. कहीं कोई असुविधा लग रही, उसको रहने दें. उसको स्वीकार कर लें. Relax even more. This moment there is nothing to do and nothing to know either. इस वक्त ना ही कुछ करना है, ना ही कुछ जानना है. केवल विश्राम. विश्राम में ही ईश्वरीय तरंग जो चारों ओर है, हम उसको अनुभव कर पाते हैं. परिश्रम साध्य नहीं है. Not with effort, but with effortlessness. You would feel the energy all around you. In deep rest, we connect with the universal energy. Let go the effort to know and to do anything right this moment. Let go. Just let go of everything. लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. शांति शांति शांति. शांति शांति शांति. Slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And with a big smile on your face, take a deep breath in. मुस्कुराते मुस्कुराते गहरी सांस लीजिए और मुस्कुराते मुस्कुराते सांस छोड़ें. And breathe out with a smile. And you may gently open your eyes. हाँ, हम लोग 25 मिनट ध्यान किए. 25 मिनट की तब 27 minutes we meditated. पता चला क्या अजय?
नहीं.
Did you feel 27 minutes pass by?
No, it went very well. शांति है मन में. Thank you.
Gurudev, we have some questions in English.
We have a couple of questions in English from the. Yeah, go ahead.
Gurudev, I have faith in God, but seems like God is always putting me in challenging situations to test my faith. Why doesn't God have faith in me that I do have faith in Him?
How do you know God doesn't have faith in you? See, God is not different from you. God is in you as you. So, don't get into complication. Just relax. All is happening. You are on a conveyor belt. You know you'll reach where you need to reach. Okay?
When we hear some stories from the Puranas, it seems that people were superhumans. For example, the story of Raja Harishchandra, where he held on to the truth against all odds, seems impractical to me. What can we take away from these stories and apply to our lives?
Stories are there to highlight particular values. They are not to be emulated. It's not said you have to do all that. No. It just gives you highlights certain characteristics, certain qualities of commitment. Come what may, I want to stick to my commitment. Those are the lessons we need to take from that, but we need to use our intelligence. That is why Lord Krishna has said very clearly, you have to have four things, that is, I think we should all have four things. Lord Krishna said you should have skill, but I say you need Shakti, Bhakti, Yukti and Mukti. Four things we need. You need energy, that you need power, and then you need Yukti. Just having power is no good. You should have skill, how to use it. Yukti, if you don't have skills, then you will get into trouble. Krishna has great yukti, that's why he could save everybody there. Yeah? Yukti. Third is bhakti. Bhakti must be there. Bhakti is love, dedication, devotion. People without any dedication, devotion, they cannot achieve. And mukti. Mukti means inner freedom. Unless you feel free from inside, if you feel you are very bound and restricted, and you cannot express yourself. For when people come to their boss, they should feel a sense of freedom to express their mind. If they feel very restricted, I don't know what the boss will think about me, then their mind, they will reel in fear, they would not give the correct picture to the boss. Whether it's in a corporate sector, in a government sector, or anywhere in social. What is needed? A person who wants to communicate should feel the freedom of not being judged. So, Bhakti, Mukti, Shakti और Yukti. चार चीज़ों की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी.
There are some people that I know who are super unethical and have actually done wrong. But to others, these same people are treated like saints and with elevation. I can't deal with this. What do I do?
Just wait for the time, If somebody has to fall, big fall, they had to go up only then when they fall, they'll get a big hit, right? So, anyone who does unethical things, at some time or other, they will have to face the consequences. You don't worry about them, you do what you need to do. Again, I am telling you cannot say, don't keep judging yourself for small things. Like you should not judge others, you should also not keep judging yourself too much. See, how much untruth is allowed for a businessman in life. This is also said. How much? See, for a sannyasi, it is no way, he cannot tell any lie. No lies are allowed for a sannyasi, for a saint, for a guru. But for a king, a little bit is allowed. For a businessman, a little bit more is allowed. He can claim my product is the best product, knowing very well it is not so bad. But it is allowed, it is dharmic. So how much lie one can say? They said as much as salt in the food. If the salt is too much, you cannot eat that. But a little bit salt is necessary, so it's allowed for a businessman. And for a worker who is working below also, little less than that. He can say a little bit, say suppose he want to take a leave, he can say I am sick, though he is not sick. He can take that. That is okay, that is dharmic. So one has to follow one's characters and ethics. Ethics is what you don't, suppose you are a businessman, what you don't want your vendor to do to you, you should not do to your customer. Suppose you don't want your vendor to cheat you with substandard things. So you should not cheat your customer with substandard. This is the baseline of ethics.
Gurudev, in my workplace, I always start a task with a lot of enthusiasm and passion, but I'm rarely able to sustain it till the end, resulting in my initiatives being subpar or complete failures. How do I turn this around?
Whenever you start any work, know that if failure comes, you are ready to accept it and move on. Know that you are like a flowing river. On the river's path, big boulders come. It doesn't, it just, goes over it. It just, river stays there for some time, and then more water comes, it starts flowing over that. Same in life, failures come, success come. You should not be too attached to these two things, both of them. Take it as part of life. If you have success in one thing, you have failure in another thing. If you have failure in one thing, you won't have success in something else. And finally, success and failures are just the notion in our head. If you can have inner strength and keep smiling, I tell you that is the real success. One last question?
Yes, Gurudev.
Okay.
I know that being in service and helping people is something I should do, but it doesn't come naturally to me and requires a lot of effort. Will I always have to force myself to do good, or will this desire naturally manifest in time? I hope it's the latter.
See, what you cannot do, you don't need to do. You need not do anything which you cannot do at all. Okay? Only you guard yourself from being lazy. Laziness, if you keep laziness away and you do whatever you can do, you can easily do, you do that. And don't look for pleasure in every service you do. You may not get it. Sometimes you do good service and people may not even recognize it and they may not even compliment you. You should not worry about it. You just see, there is a joy in getting. This is an infant joy. But there is a joy in giving. This is a mature joy. The joy of your grandmother, your grandfather. Just remember how happy they are when you went as a kid to their homes. She prepared all that food to feed you. Her joy is in not eating, but in feeding. Your mother, for example. That joy in giving is a mature joy, and we all have to rise to that level. And you can do it, and you do it anyway. Yeah? All the best. Acha Jai.
Thank you. Pranam. Pranam.
Keep well, keep safe. घर में सब अच्छे हैं ना, कुशल है ना?
बस कृपा है, भगवान की कृपा बहुत है. Thank you.
बहुत very nice.